Hello, 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 how do you do? 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 Hello, hello,
these live videos, when you do them, they can rank as well. So you want to make sure that you get everything together in your meta. And for your tags, you want to make sure that you click on the advanced settings here. And when you do that, then you can click on basic info, do a private stream, and you'll keep a eye on this up here where it says offline. And then once your stream starts going through, it's going to say starting. And then right now it is telling me that I am live. So one thing you can do is you can test your audio sync right here on this, or you can also test your audio sync by
What is up, guys? Welcome to the Gaming Careers YouTube channel. My name's Pete, and today we are going to be looking at how to get that professional sound by playing around with some of the microphone options in OBS Studio. If you are new here to the Gaming Careers YouTube channel, please do have a look around at the other videos we've got. We've got loads of different content. All of it is based around helping you make a profession out of your gaming passion through live streaming and through content creation on Twitch or on YouTube. So definitely subscribe if you haven't already. There are 4 main settings that we're going to be playing around with in this video that OBS helps us change. All of them audio. This is a filter that basically cuts off your microphone when you're not speaking. And finally, we'll be covering noise suppression, which just helps reduce some of that background noise. If you've got some fans running or air conditioning or something like that, will help reduce. So here we are in OBS Studio, and right now I have no microphone filters enabled. So what you're listening to is just the completely raw input from my Blue Snowball microphone. The reason that I've done it like this is because you're going to be able to hear the differences in how I sound before and after I add each filter. So it's going to really help emphasize what's changed in each setting. Just before we get started, if at any point in this video you find out that you don't have one of the filters that I have in my version of OBS Studio, please do make sure that you're checking that you have the latest version of OBS Studio. You can do that by heading up to the help and then checking for updates. Secondly, I'm assuming that at this point you have your microphone set up in OBS Studio and that you see this little green bar here moving with your voice. If you can't, then it's likely that you haven't got the right microphone selected. So if you come down to the little settings cog here, click that and select properties, you can then select the correct device from all the list of devices that Windows has detected. For me, I'm using my Blue Snowball microphone, and that shows up as microphone USB audio.
Hey. Properties. Let's make the
class and blah 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 blah. So I've selected that one, and I can see my microphone picking up the sound of my voice. You can also do some quick adjusting of the level of your microphone by dragging this slider here. So if I drag it to the left, I will get quieter and quieter and quieter. If I drag it back to the right, I'll be getting louder. So you can do some quick adjustments there, but you can actually boost your microphone if you need more than this slider, and we'll be looking at doing that a little later with the gain filter. Now, once your microphone is set up and you can see this green bar moving with the sound of your voice, we are ready to make our microphones sound a little bit better with some filters. Now, even though in the intro I said that we were going to start with the compressor, I actually now think it makes more sense to start with the noise suppression. So what noise suppression does is it helps to eliminate the mild background noise that your microphone might be picking up. It's not really that effective at removing large amounts of background noise, so you can't be, in a loud room with lots of other people talking and shouting, and it will remove that. It's more for removing out, computer fan noise or maybe some street noise from outside your window, things like that. So if I am now completely silent, you might be able to hear some of the fan noise from my computer, and the aim with the first filter that we're going to be adding is to remove that. So to add our first filter, we're going to click on the little cog again next to our microphone, select filters, and a new window should pop up. Now the new window is currently blank because we have no audio filters set up, so to add our first filter we can click the little plus icon here and select noise suppression. We can now name our filter if we wish to, but I think it is pretty well named as it is, so I'm going to leave mine as noise suppression. And as soon as I click the OK button here, you're going to be able to hear a difference in my microphone straight away, because it's going to be applying the default noise suppression, the noise suppression levels that it has as the default settings. So if you listen carefully, you should hopefully be able to hear the background noise disappearing when I press OK. I'm going to be quiet so that you can hear the current level of noise, and then once I press OK, you should hear that noise gone. Hopefully that was a clear enough difference, and you can now hear that a lot of the background noise from my microphone has been removed. It will definitely be more obvious if you have, more noise. In the background, I don't actually have that much, but you should still have been able to hear the difference. Now the level that is applied by default is -30 decibels. This is a little bit too much for me, but what you need to do is maybe start a recording in OBS like I'm doing right now, and play around with the levels here and make sure that you're cutting out all of that background level of noise, and then once I press OK, you should hear that noise gone. Hopefully that was a clear enough difference, and you can now hear that a lot of the background noise from my microphone has been removed. What you need to do is maybe start a recording in OBS like I'm doing right now, and play around with the levels here and make sure that you're cutting out all of that background noise when you listen back to the recording. For me, -30 is a little bit too much, so I'm going to change mine to -20. Right, that's noise suppression done, so the next filter we're going to be setting up is the noise gate. Now a noise gate, this helps by making your microphone completely silent when you don't speak, so absolutely no signal gets through when you aren't speaking. Now this might sound similar to noise suppression, but it's a useful setting to have, as it completely shuts off your microphone when the level goes below a set amount, and then it re-enables the microphone when a certain level is reached again. This allows for complete silence when you aren't speaking. To add a noise gate, we'll go to the plus icon again and select noise gate. Now when I hit OK, the noise gate will be applied, and you might hear some differences in my voice, but the real thing that we want to be able to do is to look at our levels in OBS. So I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to move the window up so I can actually see the microphone levels that OBS is receiving. The first two settings are close threshold and open threshold. So what we're going to be doing here is playing around with these settings, and we want to be looking down here at this green bar to make sure our microphone is turning on and off when it should be. Close threshold, the first setting, this is a level in decibels at which your microphone will mute itself at. If the audio level is below this threshold, your microphone will be muted. And the open threshold, this is the exact opposite. So this is the level in decibels at which your microphone will be unmuted. So if your audio level is above this threshold, your microphone will be unmuted. What you want to be doing now is to test your settings by speaking into your microphone for a few words and then being completely silent for a few seconds. And what you want to try and achieve is that when you speak, the microphone levels down here goes green, and when you're silent, the microphone levels completely die out to absolutely zero. And you're going to need to play around with these settings, the closed threshold and open threshold, until you can achieve that. For the absolute best results, what we want to be doing is setting a closed threshold above the noise volume and an open threshold just slightly below the voice level of your voice when you're speaking into your mic. If you are finding that your microphone isn't picking up when you are talking, then what you're going to need to do is reduce the open threshold until it does. If you are, however, finding that your microphone isn't going silent when you stop speaking, then what you're going to need to do is increase the closed threshold. Playing around with these two settings until you get the exact levels in which you need to. So maybe try speaking at the level that you live stream at, and for me the defaults are actually pretty decent, so I'm going to leave these as they are, but that's quite unique. You're probably going to need to play around with these two levels until you get something that definitely picks up when you do start speaking and definitely shuts down when you do stop speaking. The last three settings here are attack time, hold time and release time, all of which are measured in milliseconds. Now, attack time, this is the amount of time needed for a noise to be active to start activating the microphone. Hold time is the amount of time that the microphone will stay active after you stop speaking. So don't set this too short or your microphone will be trying to turn off in between words, which obviously sounds pretty rubbish. Finally, the release time, this is the amount of time that it takes for the OBS filter to actually turn off your microphone. So it won't turn off instantly, it likes to do it over a certain amount of milliseconds, which sounds much more natural. Normally the default settings for these three are absolutely fine, but feel free to change them if you do need to. Great, so hopefully you agree that my microphone is already sounding quite a lot better, and the next thing that we're going to be adding is a compressor. Now, a compressor is a really useful tool for live streamers, as what it does is it helps with those situations when you're really loud. Maybe you've got an exciting moment in your game and you've screamed out in joy. What the compressor will do is automatically turn down the input volume so that it hopefully doesn't peak, doesn't distort, and the volume can then be turned back to normal when you've stopped making such a loud noise. So to add a compressor, we're going to do the exact same as we have done so far. Go down to the plus icon, click compressor and name it whatever you'd like. Now, like most of the audio settings in this guide, the settings that you apply here for the compressor are going to completely depend on, how your voice sounds, how loud your voice is, what microphone you're using, what acoustics you're in, what your room shape is, all these kind of things. So these settings really are going to be completely unique to you, and I'm afraid there is no way for me to share the best settings. What you're going to need to do is play around with them and get something that sounds good for your stream. I will, however, explain now what each of these settings does so you can adjust them as you see fit. The first setting is the ratio, and this is the amount of compression to apply. So this is default set to 10, but if I set this to say 2, this would mean that when the compressor kicks in, it will reduce the amount of noise, the amount of volume coming from your microphone by half. If you set this to 4, that's going to be twice as much compression, so it's going to compress it by even more than that. So 2 is a very low setting, 10 is quite a high setting, but you need to set this to whatever ratio you want the compressor to compress your voice by when it is enabled. The threshold in decibels, this is the threshold at which the compressor will kick in. So this really does need you to fiddle around with the setting and choose something that you need the compressor to kick in at. So if this is minus 18 decibels like its default is, or maybe that is much too high of a level and you actually want it to kick in at a lower level, or it's a higher number of decibels, but that's because it's negative, but at a lower level like minus 30. You need to play around with this setting and choose something when you want the compressor to kick in at. The attack is how quickly in milliseconds you want the compressor to kick in when it does detect that high volume, and the release is how quickly in milliseconds you want the compressor volume to return back to normal once the loud volumes have calmed down. The output gain, finally, this is just simply a gain. We're going to be looking at adding a gain filter anyway in the next step. We can leave this at default, and I'll be showing you how to add a gain filter if you need one in the next filter. As with before, I do recommend playing around with these settings here whilst doing a recording of yourself in OBS so you can hear what your microphone sounds like with certain different settings here for the compressor. Try raising your voice a few times like you might do when you're live streaming and see at which point you want the compressor to be kicking in at. And this might feel a bit fiddly and require, a little bit of time to get right, but you only need to set it up once, and once that has set up, you have a clean software compressor in OBS for all of your future streams. The final super quick filter that we're going to add is a gain filter, and this is just purely a way to be able to boost or reduce your microphone's volume. It's as simple as that. All we have to do is click the plus icon, select gain, name it whatever we would like, and then here we can set a boost volume or a reduction in volume if we need to. So obviously if your microphone is super quiet and you need to add a boost here, that is how you do it. Once you're happy with all your settings, you can just click close, and again, if you want to go back into any of your microphone filters, you just click the cog icon and then hit filters, and all 4 of them are there for you to play around with again. Hopefully by this point you now
Hey, sound. Sound check. Sound. Okay na. Sound check. Hey yo, hello? Sound check. Hey yo. Hello? Sound check. Hey yo. Hello? Sound check. Sound. Hey yo. Still going. Hello?
Sa nagbalik-balik ni. Warning, your stream current bitrate is lower than the recommended. Immediate. Ooh. Super PS. Shout out Michael. Shout out Michael. So would you stream comment type with zero is lower than the would you stream white labra klaro ni. Suggestion labra. Would you stream my current is lower than recommended by rate? we recommend that you use audio stream method with 128. Audio stream. Hey, sound check, sound check. Sound check, sound check. Sound check, sound check. Sad good night. Kamusta, Mama Lynn? Sad Mama Lynn. Kamusta? Nagkabuang ang kuan sa tawagan na. Hong live. Kamusta, kamusta? Kamusta naman tong kuan nimo si pag umangko nimo? Namuni na? Sound check, sound check. Sad good night. Mama, sad Mama Lynn. Sa tawagan. Okay ra agi lang ko like. Sige, sige, sige. Salamat sa like diha. Ambot yet, busy na ko. Mau ba? Eh, ibalik normal na ng kuan. Malaysia? Oo, start ugma daw ambot ug tinuod. Maayo. Normal na diha. Wa na po'y kuan, wa na po'y kaso nga na. Pero di sa bakasyon diha. Nganong di man naa gani uban nga kuan man agatong mga siman nanguli man gani pero magpakuan lang kanang sa nang protocol ba mga swab test mga test rapid test. Daghan gyapon gipangkapoy na gipangkapoy na guro kay unsa na unlod mga negosyo. Mao jud ay mga tong uban nga suicide na lang magkuag balik kayo magdugayon perting gian. Unsa may tirada na tug napuyit kay ride sayo mo daw. Next. Ayo kay ride ra ba? Sige, ayo. Salamat sa pag-ari. Nadungog ba ni mo kuan music ana? Madungog yun yung music diha, dili. Usa na katuig wala Japon nahuman ang sigig testes. Moro protest. Tas papel kay puro test. Congrats unsa di ayit nalimot ko. Unsay ko sa kuan sesyon. Oh, salamat. Wa pa ko ka-perform so good kay napay kuan pong kanilaging OBS na kanang software ba. Ang gikapa pa. Wala iya mo man may sounds. What they sounds today? Time pa audio input. Kana madong nga na lahi nam guning di na ko makadirect og kuan wait OBS Studio na akong gamit kay pag-download ang aning software mag automatic man pag pagkagabi nagkuhan ko nag-live kana bitong inigkuhan thumbnail bitaw mo capture ng para thumbnail maayo karon pa ko kasuway nga software mong gud. Magpasko mo nga ulin. Magpasko po diha. O mga Muslim man diha no. Uuyit sa ko anti igsuon sa ko papa mga Chinese man lahaban. Unya Chinese unsa may religion ng Chinese di ba di man na Katoliko? O mutuo ba ng mga mutuo man din no mga inchi. Mag-party mi mga pamilyar. Maayo kay murag dili tantong homesick. Magkuanton mo na po'y Shinjinggip. Naasad Katolik. Naamaday no kalimot ko. Kasagaran diris buhol kay mga negosyante kay kuan man kanang half Chinese. Lahi ra diha mao bitaw lami do diri kay naipabuto naiwatusi naiwatusi oo mag singjinggit niya maayo di mo magitson tahor ba alam mo simbolo ba na selebrasyon ng litson Tamsakho salamat mambisdak in Europe. Shout out sa'yo. Ug mo anhi kayit ikaw amo ulit sunod. Atay. Murag dako-dako ra ba ko dudugay ko mahurot. Dili na ko mukaon ana it. O Muslim na Amerikano. Salamat sa tamsak mambisdak. Kamusta? UBS na yung gamit kay di na ko ka direct. Ako na pong gi-adjust ganiha kay ka iko-iko nangapa para lagi nangapa pa ko. Kaya pag suway na ho ganin na, niya ka na bitang ini-capture sa thumbnail OBS nga logo na may mukuan, ka na ba mag-count ito na siya? 1, 2, 3. Mo itong gamao-mao na ko ari, napagipang copy na ko ang stream key. So ako nang gi-connect sa OBS. Dako jud lagi. Ahaha. Mao jud pilang kilo kaha. Kamusta man kila? Kamusta mag National Day na kel? Na dako pag hadiah. Ma'am Lynn, di pa ka magpa-member na ho. Namugos oh. Nga na bang ila ho, tanawa na kang Michael na i-badge bitaw. Nga na i-click lang tong join button. Makita nimo tong kuan. Ay badge nga BB ay logo bitaw nya maka-avail ka nga tong unsay mga perks. Here, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Asula pa nin ko ano eh. Dagang kiyaw-kiyaw ni OBS po. Oh, chat. Go timestamp. Poor. Get na ako gisend. Unsa man? Super chat. Ikuan ra na kanang unsa na nay dollar sa makakita kag dollar sign ug naay kuan unsa ba unsaon po ng kuan kanang ug natay kuan siguro kanang sa iti o kakuan po nga na kay wa paong ko kasuway po magpa super chat ay wa ba dyan po ko'y kwarta. Ang bisdak unsaon ra ng kuan kanang magpa super chat na kay kuan kanang na kay na ay kuan murag pasilbing may account pan siguro nimo. So ay kuno kuan og unsay na may instruction siguro na i-click ng support chat or di pa day kuan di day available sa inyo day basig kuan ka ng mga Muslim country bitaw murag di available ng mga super chat kanang magpalupad kag nay kuan ba silbing murag pahalipay ba na nga na kay sa Saudi maupod sa Saudi dili pod sila di sila pwede makapa nga na lagi kanang mohatag ba passport sa Saudi dili Middle East o sa kuan gani sa UAE United Arab dili pod murag sa Muslim country siguro dili pwede di maka-avail nga magpa super chat. Ikuan na lang mo ino, Ma'am Lynn. Ikuan ba, i-click naman ang join button na ho. Aron, kuan pa ka, ka nang, kuan ka na, permi po. Ibaba perming imong balay ba, imong balay, ibaba perming night boat. Nga nas uban bitaw na, kanang, Mao di ay asagod ayaw na lang ni ako oy. Sleep na ko. Di pa kana. Di pa kana nimo kuan nimo mo dikit nimo na kay saging. Okay rag kuan. Unsay naa kay madungog uban nga na, Len? Sa audio ba? Audio na ho. Way mga kasikas. Gawa sa sounds or kuan. May mga dili na po anang saging. Unsa ba yun? Mais. Isda. Na sounds. Wa na kay laing madungog kanang sounds ug akora. Wa na mga ubang mga banha-banha. Kaya ako parang nangapa pa ko aning bagong kaning software mga gamit bag-o. Karon pa ko ka kuan. O pa ko na swito. Kay katong niagi kay direct ram ko YT itsura. Diya karon kinahanglan pa na ako kanang i-connect sa software nga kuan. Kay og akong i-direct sa YT di naman wa na may display. Di na ko mag-kuan ra mag-itom ra ang display. Di na ko makita. Wala jud ko'y nakita nga join yet. Wa ba day? Gaduka na ko. Da bidu ang wa. Ikuan ba? Cellphone man ang gamit, no? Nga, gani na. Tuslukan ng kuan. Kaniyong pangan lagi. I-search. I-search ang ngan. Musod ka sa YT. Nga i-search akong pangan Buyet Bernaldez. Yang makita to nga ng ubos-ubos. Makita to nimong join nga button.